Hi, it's Linda. Welcome back to the Daily Dose, where we talk about the energy that's moving through all of us right now and make it useful for real life. No fancy language, just plain talk and real life. Today, we're talking about the she sees the details energy at her fullest, most beautiful expression, the inner saint version, the impeccable interpreter. So let's get started. The impeccable interpreter has stopped trying to include every detail and started trusting herself to choose the right ones, the exact right details. That's the whole shift, and it changes everything. When this energy is fully lived, the details you share aren't chosen because they're accurate. They're chosen because they serve the overall understanding. That distinction is the mark of someone who has truly mastered the she sees the details energy. Not more information, the right information, organized in the right way, offered at just the right moment. At this level, your communication has a quality that people find both clarifying and deeply satisfying. You say exactly the right things in exactly the right order, and the listener walks away understanding something they couldn't grasp before you spoke. That's not a small thing. That's one of the most valuable things a person can offer in any conversation, any meeting, any relationship, any. The impeccable interpreter has also made peace with leaving things out. Not every detail belongs in every explanation. That's a tough one for me. Not every nuance needs to be named. Not every potential obstacle needs to be enumerated before someone can move forward. The confidence to offer a well-organized subset of what you know, instead of everything you know, is what makes the communication land instead of overwhelm. Not going to pretend otherwise. This is something I had to work hard on while I was teaching. I had to learn to share, to present just the right amount that was needed for my students to learn the concept. Woof! It took a lot of practice and discernment to get there for myself. And then when I was teaching business communications, my students had to do presentations of business articles. I always pushed them to present only 3 important points from the article because that was best for the audience to be able to follow along. There I was, channeling the best version of my she sees the details energy. Isn't that just so fun? There's also a freedom here that the cranky pants version of she sees the details never gets to. The impeccable interpreter trusts that she'll know what she needs to know when she needs to know it. She doesn't need to preload for every contingency. She doesn't need the plan to be perfect before she begins. She relaxes into herself and trusts that the right details will surface at the right moment, and she moves. That ease, that trust in her own precision, is what makes her communication feel effortless, even when what she's explaining is really complex. Your inner saint here has also learned that the voice of I think is most powerful when it's invited. When someone asks for the clarity she carries, she delivers it with confidence and doesn't hold back. And when the invitation hasn't come yet, she waits. She trusts the timing. She knows her moment will come. The impeccable interpreter, the one who makes the complicated make sense and the intangible finally feel real. That is you at your best in this energy. In our next chat, we wrap up our time with the she sees the details energy. We look at the full picture, consider a question to sit with, and get a peek at what's coming next. I wouldn't miss it. I sure hope you don't. Press that subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here. Find your happy. Love what you do. Make a difference. And come on back here to me safely. See ya.